Welcome to this episode of Your Property Business, the video podcasts that help you get the most out of your own property business. What was it about property that kind of made you do something in 2012? Why consider buying something?
Yeah, so I'm a very practical person, so I'm a very concrete guy. So I studied mechanical engineering, M&E engineering, but I needed to see progress, I needed to see things through. And I guess I've always had the passion. So I grew up in a house that my parents were refurbishing around us,
Okay.
There's pictures of me with tools and stuff as a toddler, I don't know, they set me up, but I've always lived on a construction site basically all my life. And my dad was a teacher, I'm still a teacher, and in France how it is. So he would look at me at the dinner table and say, I think there are some teacher strike tomorrow, so maybe we can do 2 cubic meters of concrete and do this and that, and we need to dig this trench. And there was always some crazy project basically. So
Okay.
I was always on the tools, and I'm really concrete, and I like to see progress. I like to see things being built.
Yeah.
And I struggle with abstract or repetitive things, So I studied mechanical engineering, but I went to work straight away. Like I had to be outdoors, So I spent most of my 10 years engineer careers with safety boots on inside cabins basically. So and it's really it's really what I've always breathed. So property was always natural. So when I started in France, it was just okay as an expat. You make a bit of money and you start to look around your hometown and say, I can do some stuff. And I did some barn conversions and a few projects, but
was that around 2012?
Yeah, 2012.
And were you sort of buying and holding or buying and selling?
Yeah, but it's very different in France. So
Okay.
So you buy and hold, and there's no interest on your mortgages. You can't refinance. You can't add value and refinance. You can refinance in a way that you buy back your debt. So that's the cons, but the pros is that you get a lot better loan to value. And a lot lower interest as well, which are fixed for like 25 years, so okay. Crazy stuff. I don't know the interest right now, but I got some friends who bought some properties a couple of years ago, and it was like 1.5% interest for fixed for 25 years on a repayment, So there's pros and cons, but the culture is very different, where you can't make a profit right now. You are stuck in a job, and you need to have career evolution to subsidize your portfolio basically. Because for you need to top up every month, because everything is repayment. It doesn't stack up, So once you start to have 3, 4, 5, you need to have the job progression that justifies the 50 euros, 100 euros per property.
That's a fundamental difference, isn't it? If you got to pay to keep your properties going, we went through Simon Zucchi, rule number 1, cash positive cash flow.
It's very, very different.
Yeah.
And then the culture is very, I'd say debt adverse, So, and after 20, 25 years, you're laughing because you're sitting on all these unencumbered properties, But it's very delayed gratification kind of system.
Okay. So how does that flow into your property?
In UK. So
in the UK.
Yeah. So I mean, I had the big haha moment, So I think 2018. So I started to say, okay, now that I'm in UK, the pound was worth nothing, at the time. I was like, I can't be shipping this back into France. And I also, for the first time, thought, okay, maybe this is it. I can stay here. And my wife doesn't speak French, so this is it. This is going to be our home. So I started to slowly, come home with the idea that this is home. And I'm very happy about that. And so I've got this pound. I'm just saving from working. So what do we do? How does it work here? And then I think I started to binge watch Tony Lowe's YouTube channel, Your First 4 Houses, when he was quite quite active also at the time.
Okay.
And it was like this buy Refurb-Refinance model was like, this is incredible. So I've got this same amount of capital. I can put down, I can add value, and I've got and the reason I got into property also is I used to be very well received by my financial advisor, if you like. When I was back from traveling in France, I would go and visit my bank branch once a year, and they would it was red carpet, Mr. Black, and you want a coffee and this and that. And then there's this sales guy basically advising me, as it were, on what stocks and stuff I should buy. And underlying to me like, oh, you should buy this and you should buy that, and basically just whatever make commission for them. So I didn't lose money, but I didn't make money with these things. But I really value like the control and the outcome I get on my money. And then I think you can only get this in property, where you decide what you buy, when you buy, how much you buy, and then you find an edge and an angle to add value. And I think there's no asset class where you can buy refurb your way, buy refinance your way, up and up, again and again. So the penny really dropped for me when I understood that with interest-only mortgages, I can get a monthly profit every year, every month. This is incredible. And then if I find a good angle to add value and buy at the right price, it means I can use the same pot of cash or a part of the pot of cash for one project and another one and another one. And for me, it was like, oh, this is incredible. This is magic. So
I was talking to Richard Evans, who we both know, on Friday, and he was talking to me about, and he said he sort of said that his light bulb moment was almost similar. He said, momentum investing, that's what it is. It's make some money, take it out, put it back in, and go again. And so it sounds like quite a similar type of
and I think we don't model. I mean, anybody in UK right now, like we are it's a bit like the Parisians never go on the Eiffel Tower, we say in France. So, and it's a bit like you don't realize the luck you have, and it's like, and you've got all sorts of overseas investors plowing their money into the resi properties here. And it's because it's unique, it's incredible, like it's really healthy. The conveyancing system makes it very thorough, my wife's from Turkey, and it's a bit like you wouldn't buy with the same confidence in some countries, because like what is your deed worth, and here it's super secure, and I think probably people get the best security for it. And then the market, is just because the lack of housing and all we know about the failings of the policymakers to build enough houses, and all the complexity of the planning system, and how we as a nation value our privacy. And every time I've got a few planning things going through, and it's like everybody's got an opinion about about every development, and I can't think. I had no issues getting planning in France, well, it's a bit of a mafia as well with the mayor office and stuff. It's a bit different, but it's not this value of privacy and private property, and this entitlement people have over, someone might overlooked my tree in my garden, and it's the end of the world, There's like we say first world problems, it's for me, I'm quite amazed sometimes at the reaction of some neighbors and things. It's
of being overlooked and then objecting.
All the objections you get, when you go for planning,
and they've all got to be addressed, haven't they? They've got to be listened to, taken into account, and addressed, and they might get
which is fair,
yeah.
But